I thought we were going to Top Golf.
She reading comments, y'all.
Let me see, Mr. Wynn. I don't know if I can see. We won't be going anywhere. I don't think.
Period.
Because I hate it when I see men on their profile pictures and they have on sunglasses and a hoodie. Who are you hiding from? The authorities?
The police.
No, thank you.
The FBI.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. I said hey.
Hey.
Welcome back to my channel. Hey, y'all. I'm Jazmyn W. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Y'all know I like to jump right into it, honey. But first, I must let you know, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you don't support me.
At all.
Okay, you don't support black women. You know how hard it is to be a black comedian out here? Who else? Who do we have out here? Besides, what? Leslie Jones and Wanda Sykes.
Touring.
Hell. So, come on
TV.
now.
On TV.
There's lots of talented women out here. Support us. There's my friend Amber Wallen, my friend Takara Williams. There's Kelly Kells. There's lots of girls. There's Grace Johnson in New York. There's Yamanika Saunders. Look up all the girls and follow them. But first, subscribe to my fucking YouTube channel.
Sydney Washington.
Hell, I'm talking about working girls. Okay, Monica's retired. But
Mina Q.
She's in my top 5. All right, let's get into it. Today we're talking about Married at First Sight. We're talking about episode 13. And we're talking about the reunion. So we're going to talk about both. I do have a lot to say. But on my channel, we always start with the most boring couple. The most boring couple for this episode, this is the final episode of the season, is Megan and Derek.
You always got a lot to say.
And the other blonde, the white couple.
Let's get to it.
Anyway, we're talking about decision day and we're talking about the reunion. On decision day, they both said yes. Remember, Megan was pregnant on decision day, or at least they thought she was pregnant, right? They said that they have been working on their relationship on decision day and they plan to present things to each other more tactfully. I think that's what Derek said. And he promised to present things to Megan more tactfully, and Megan promised not to get too heated. I knew that this relationship wasn't going to work. I think the fact that Megan was pregnant was an incentive for them to stay together, but the glue wasn't going to be strong enough because they had so many issues, disagreements, and arguments before she even got pregnant.
Right.
I think it was very irresponsible for Megan to get pregnant during this process, but unfortunately, she lost the baby. I totally hate the fact that Megan lost her baby. I know how traumatic that can be for women. I've never myself had a miscarriage, actually, but almost every single woman that I know has had a miscarriage. I don't know if this helps or because, anyway, I'll just say it. One thing that my mom told me, because she had a miscarriage before having me, and my mom already had 2 kids. But, my brother's 8 years older than me. My sister's 14 years older than me. So it had been a long time before my mom had tried to get pregnant. And my mom says that so many women have miscarriages, especially when they're attempting to get pregnant for the first time, or they're attempting to get pregnant between, if they haven't been pregnant in a while. And my mom says, just think of it as your body's way of resetting in preparation for the baby that you're going to have. And I know not everybody is going to be able to think of it that way because it is so traumatic, but that helped me as I was preparing to attempt to get pregnant when I was married. That advice really helped me feel like, oh, Mom, if I have a miscarriage, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that I won't be able to have a baby. So, hopefully that advice from my mom helps somebody out there who has recently had a miscarriage and they're trying to conceive. Anyway, so on the reunion, they talked about that. They said that after the miscarriage, their relationship really went downhill because they clashed and they got into a big fight, and Derek told Megan that he doesn't love her anymore. I don't know if Derek ever loved Megan. I think Derek wants to have a family. Yeah, I think he wants to have a family. And Megan doesn't.
Okay. And
I feel like women, we have to be more honest. It's okay not to want a family. It's okay to only want one kid. To me, it sounded like Megan was really afraid of getting pregnant and giving birth, which I don't blame her. It's some scary ass shit. Okay? As a woman who has given birth, I will never do it again. Okay? I might get with a man and pretend like I'm gonna do it, but I'm secretly gonna take my birth control and secretly gonna put some shit in his drink so he can't conceive with me either.
Girl, what?
I'm not interested in having no more kids. So at the end of the day, we have to be honest about that. I am honest. I tell every man that I meet, I'm not interested in having no more kids, and they think they can change my mind. They won't, but we can try. We can try a few times.
Okay, we can try.
Anyway.
We can try all afternoon.
Let's move on to the next couple. Let's move on to Rhonda and Brad. I don't think his name is Brad, but damn, who cares at this point? It's the end of the season.
Right.
What's his name?
It don't matter. I
wrote down that Rhonda looked amazing at the reunion. I'm going to put some reunion pictures up this time. Look how good she looks. Wow.
In this?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. This wasn't the reunion. This was the wedding because I never saw them get married.
Oh, okay.
Pat.
That makes sense.
His name. Rhonda and Pat. Let me write down.
That makes more sense because this look.
Rhonda looked amazing at her wedding. I loved the red dress. I thought she looked so gorgeous. Anyway, I wrote down, Rhonda said that she already knew. Keep in mind, this is decision day. She said she could tell by Pat's body language that he's already made his decision by not holding her hand. He was closed off from the relationship because of body language. And she was right because he said, she's right. I have made my decision, and my decision was to say no. He said his decision for saying no was there were red flags going off, and he ignored them. He said he can't feel authentic around Rhonda because she's so critical of him. I do think that Rhonda is self-centered.
Yes. She centers herself.
I think she's a self-centered person. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being self-centered. There's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. Men do it all the time. But it's going to be very, very difficult for you to be self-centered and be in a relationship with somebody else. Because being in a relationship requires that you sometimes prioritize the other person. And when you cannot prioritize the other person and sometimes put that person before yourself, that's what a relationship will require. You should not be in a relationship. You should be single. You should not look for a marriage where you have to commit to somebody. And I think, parenting, it requires that as well. If you feel like I want to put myself first, Lucius, you shouldn't have kids either. Because having children is all about prioritizing your child over yourself. There's nothing wrong with not getting married and not having kids. There's nothing wrong with being self-centered. Just know that about yourself and keep it moving. Why look for a long-term relationship where you're going to have to prioritize somebody else once in a while? I can't remember a time this season where Rhonda prioritized Pat.
Once in a while.
Not one time.
Daily, weekly.
Anyway, I wrote down that they should keep dating but not be married.
Right.
Because I think that they liked each other's company. I think that they wanted the companionship, but I don't think she wanted him to move in with her, and I don't think he wanted to listen to her talk all the time.
Right.
So,
but he probably needed
continue dating and continuing the relationship would have been a good idea. But why get married?
Right. Paperwork.
Well, what happened to just enjoying a man's company?
For a little while.
What happened to a little casual situation?
Casual.
Comment below and tell me, do y'all like a little casual situation? I like a little casual situation. Hell.
We know, Jazz.
I wish I had a little casual situation right now.
Oh, Lord. Here she go. What else?
I thought about texting an ex-boyfriend last night and say, hey, what are you doing at midnight?
We know you did. Did you do it or not?
I just saw something a little casual. Damn.
She didn't do nothing, y'all. Okay? She went to sleep.
Anyway, at the end of the day, Pat ended up changing his mind. Let me tell y'all something. We're going to get into it. Never let a man change his mind on you. Once he told you he don't want to be with you once he showed you he don't want to be with you once, why allow him to change his mind on you as if you're some sort of fucking Happy Meal or something like that? You cannot change your mind on me, baby. Either you like me, you want to be with me, or you don't. Like, I would never let a man say, you know what, actually, I think I want to break up. Actually, I think I want to be together. No, you don't want to be together. Because what? Like, No.
His other girlfriend broke up with him.
I thought that was whack this season. And they decided to say yes. Listen, let's move on to the reunion and talk about what happened. Then I'll do the summary of the relationship. So they were together for 9 months. And then they said, Rhonda said they had a glorious, several weeks together. Lots of hanging out with friends, lots of traveling, lots of sunsets and wine together on the patio. They had a glorious, 60 days together out of this 9 months. Then he went to New York City and came back, and he told her, he was listening to a podcast about being angry. And she went up to him and said, hey, Pat, are you angry? You're listening to a podcast about being angry. And he says, I'm not angry yet, but I can feel myself getting there. And she said, why? And he said, it's because we haven't had sex in 10 days. And I wrote down, if I was married to a man and we didn't have sex for 10 days, I'd be mad too.
Girl. What you want us? Okay, now what?
If y'all were married and didn't have sex for 10 days, would y'all be mad? I would be mad. I would be listening to a podcast as well.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And I mean, you in town, you wasn't gone for 10 days. You sitting around laughing and giggling in my face and not making out with me?
Right. What's the deal?
And not trying to do nothing?
I'm out of here.
And you won't have no period? I know Rhonda don't have a period.
Girl, how you know?
Now listen, I'm not saying that you have to be in the mood every single day. But if we don't have sex for 10 days and you walking around here laughing and giggling and you get on my damn nerves and you ain't tried to, touch my lower back or nothing like that, I won't be giggling with you.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's so damn funny.
She said that they went on vacations and drank wine and had a wonderful, glorious time. I think you looking for a best friend, not a husband. Because what? Girl, you gonna have to do something. If I didn't sleep with my husband for 10 days and he not meditating on the patio, I wouldn't know what to think. I think he got somebody else.
Right. I'd be concerned.
Anyway, Rhonda, they said, what's up with that?
Ooh,
right, Just Lexi on Instagram said sometimes you just have to start and then you'll get in the mood. It's true. Been there. Relatable. Anyway, on the reunion, they said, Rhonda, what's up with the no sex for 10 days? And she said, Pat is very insecure. And it was a turnoff.
Really?
His insecurity was a turnoff for her. I wrote down, what is Rhonda talking about?
Right.
At the end of the day, Rhonda is trying to make it seem like the fact that Pat had insecurities made him unattractive. The newsflash, Rhonda, is that it's going to be really hard to find a human being who doesn't have insecurities. And they should be able to open up to you about them as their married partner. I don't remember the insecurities. And the idea that the man had a few insecurities turned you off, to me it just kind of felt a little bit like she was taking a jab at him. Because he probably felt safe enough to express insecurities to you. I don't even remember what the insecurities were. I don't remember them being that drastic. Like, it were a couple of things that she said he felt insecure about and it turned her off. I just thought that I honestly think that Rhonda got her feelings hurt. I think that Rhonda, at the end of the day, wanted to be in a relationship, but she doesn't want to do the work to be in a relationship. I thought Pat was a good match for her. Okay. She's one of those people who wants everything to go exactly the way she wants it to go. She's inflexible. She's self-centered. She is, all of these things, but she wants somebody to enjoy life with, but I don't think she's willing to compromise.
Yeah, and
you
they
need
have
to go find you a lavender husband.
Girl.
Because I think that would be a better fit for Rhonda. The host did such a good job this season. But he was like, y'all had sex on the first night. What happened? And she's like, yeah, we did. That's because Rhonda hadn't had none in 6 years.
Right.
And she got on the first night. And she was like, I'm good. There's nothing wrong. Hey, ladies, guess what? There's nothing wrong with just having sex every once in a while. Sometimes you wake up and you be like, I would love to have sex this week. And that's when you text a man that you haven't spoken to in 2 years. And you say, hey, what are you up to later on? And then you might sleep with them today or the next day or this weekend, and then you never have to speak to them again, and you don't want sex no more for a while. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, why haven't you done it? Because we got the whole week to ourselves.
Take control of your own life.
You take control of yours. Let's move on
to the next couple, Josh and Jacqueline. Josh and Jacqueline are no longer together. They had some lifestyle differences. I'm sorry. Okay, so on decision day, Josh and Jacqueline said that they had some lifestyle differences, but Josh said that he really wanted her to move past his complaints or fears about their lifestyle differences, which is Josh likes to go to Burning Man. Josh likes to go to Jacqueline. Josh likes to go to Burning Man. Josh likes to go to festivals. Josh likes to get butt naked and hang out in the pool with his friends. Whatever the hell he likes to do.
Naked basketball, like Jamie Foxx.
Keep in mind, Classy Texas, on my page, I never get anybody's name right. I'm sorry. Jalen, I thought it was Jalen, but I wrote down Jacqueline.
It don't matter.
Jalen, who cares, child? Anyway, I wrote down on decision day, Josh is desperate. He'd like to stay married to Jacqueline. And Jacqueline wanted to stay married too. That really shocked me. I did not think she was going to stay married to this man.
Jalen or Jacqueline?
I don't know why she settled like that. Something is off about Josh to me.
Duh.
He cannot be trusted. He's not trustworthy. And I'm not even saying that because he was caught still following his ex on social media or lying about it. I'm not saying that because he's been caught in these like little tiny lies. Well, that's obviously a reason he can't be trusted. But there's something about his face that tells me he cannot be trusted. Mm-hmm. It's something about the way he look. I feel like he's the type of person, he looks like he could be a habitual liar. Like he lies about everything. Doesn't he?
Yeah, simple stuff. No.
Comment below and let me know if I'm tripping. Like he looks like he could lie. He could tell a lie a minute. Y'all remember how tired his granny looked?
Girl, let that go.
His granny looked like she really put him through it.
He put
her through it.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the reunion, Josh and Jacqueline were no longer together. Jacqueline said that Josh looked at her while they were on vacation and said, I don't feel connected to you anymore. I want to break up.
Okay.
Just Lexi. I talk about that on my channel. The episode where he didn't want to read to her. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. I talk about that. Josh said, that's not true. I didn't break up with you on vacation. I broke up with you at home after the vacation.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. I said, okay. She was like, actually, you told me that you didn't want to be with me on vacation. And then we, of course, stayed on vacation. And then when we got home, you reiterated.
Right.
Jacqueline told us that she went to Burning Man and she was planning to go again.
Why?
No boundaries.
Exactly.
No boundaries. That bothered me. That really bothered me. Imagine dating a man and say, hey, you like to go to Burning Man? I'm not interested in going. But I love that for you. I want you to continue to go have fun. And he says, oh, it's not a big deal that you don't want to go. Oh, it's okay that you don't want to go. oh, I won't, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. We have so much other things in common. I'm in love with you. That's fine. Can you go just once?
I would have broke up with him. Blocked.
I would say, actually, no, I can't go just once. Because when I met you, I said I wasn't interested in going.
Right.
Now you're asking me to go once. No.
And you went
then
once.
She ended up going, and she was planning to go again.
And he's still not happy.
And he broke up with her.
Exactly. That's why you don't go.
If I had the vitriol that I think that I have creatively, but I really don't have the time and energy, after that, I would make Burning Man my thing.
Right.
I would hit up all his friends and say, I would like to go to Burning Man. I want to make it my thing. I would build a tent. I would be a part of the production committee and all that shit. That would be my new hobby, just to piss him off. Yep. In an ideal situation. In reality, who has time for that? But you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that really pisses you off. I don't know. Maybe just me.
No, everybody.
I wrote down, wow. Stop with these niggas.
Please.
I wrote down, Josh said that he lost himself while being in a relationship with Jacqueline. I wrote down, how did you lose yourself? She went to Burning Man. It would be different if he sacrificed and he didn't go. But he went. So how did you lose yourself?
Right. Let me know.
Anyway, Jacqueline said he also lied about his assistant. He said he had a new assistant or something like that at work. And she said, oh, who is she? He said, I don't know, some 40-year-old woman. And it turned out she was in her early 20s. You see what I'm saying? He literally looks like he just lies about everything. You ever met somebody who lies just to lie?
Yes. Who? 100%.
I have.
Message.
Just be lying for no reason. Like, you didn't even have to lie about that. But the fact that you lied about it lets me know that you need help. You're a liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Just Lexi on Instagram said that Josh probably wanted something kinky to happen. I think that if men are into kinky things, they should marry somebody who's into kinky things. Don't come over here getting a regular girl who likes to eat granola and have missionary sex and think that you're going to have some sort of kinky thing happen with somebody who's not even into that. Also, why would you want to take somebody from point A to point Z? You need to meet somebody who's at point W. And then take them to the end of the alphabet. Because you're not going to get me from A to Z. I'm sorry. Exactly. And not going married at first sight.
Right.
Let's move on to Belinda and the belly.
Now, Jazz.
Am I wrong for saying that? I said what I said.
Let me know in the comments.
I don't believe it's body shaming if it's men. I don't think you can body shame men.
Right.
Especially not this one. He mean. On the Decision Day episode, the husband, I don't remember his name. He said he don't give a fuck about the show. He's done.
Okay. And now what?
Chad is his name. I wrote down Chad. Why are you not cussing everyone out? At one point, Chad said he was done. He's ready to go back to the gym. I wrote down.
Act like you
Anyway,
know.
I wrote down Chad said yes on Decision Day. He's a loose cannon.
Act like you
and
know.
And I proved myself
like
to be right.
Act like you know.
A couple people
like
said on the live last time that Chad was had a drinking problem. I didn't see that on the season, but it turns out Belinda was concerned about his drinking. So let's get into it. On the reunion, they were no longer married.
Nobody was. So
Belinda also said that they didn't have sex. I said something about sex in his belly last time.
Okay, let's move on, Jazz.
I told y'all in the first episode that I did that a man told me that the bigger the man's belly is, the less likely he's going to be able to use his privates.
Your ex said that, yup. Because he worked out.
Apparently, Chad's, I don't know who wanted sex, Chad or Belinda, but I wrote down no sex. I don't know.
Nobody wanted sex. Nobody wanted sex.
Belinda said that Chad drinks every night. She said one night she had to roll up on him and he would sleep like this.
Wow. He woke up, took a drink.
I'm like, he went to sleep drunk with a glass in his hand?
Yes, he did.
She said he went to sleep drunk with a glass in his hand and she had to go take the glass from him. He would have woke up the next day at 2 o'clock or 3 p.m. All my shit would have been gone.
Right. Because no.
Do y'all know that a lot of men have substance abuse problems these days?
Duh.
I just saw an interview on social media. I had seen it before. But they said if a man is not married by, I think it was 30 years old, but I don't want to misspeak, but it was at least 33. If a man is not married by 33, he has a 1 in 3 chance of having a substance abuse problem.
I believe it.
No wonder I can't meet nobody. I'm only dating divorced men from now on. I'm like, no wonder all the men I'm meeting, they holding their liquor, but they doing too much.
Yes, smoking, drinking. They do a little coke, a little heroin.
Every time I meet a man, I'm telling y'all, all these men have slight substance abuse problems.
Slight?
Weed, drinking, smoking.
You dated an alcoholic, Jazz. Slight?
I'm telling y'all. I wrote down, Belinda, why the hell did you say yes to this man? Then they showed some never before seen footage of Chad getting upset because whatever happened. I don't even remember what happened. But he was like, F this, F y'all, fuck this, take the cameras off me. And the reality is, like, he said it felt like an ambush. It probably did.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was going to start knocking some stuff over the tables and stuff like that, but he didn't. Like, it felt like an ambush. Y'all know what I hate? Let me just tell y'all something.
We know you're going to tell us, girl. Go ahead.
I am a girl's girl. I am. I'm a true girl's because I feel like I'm so authentic with my in my in my community that I have with women. But I'm not a girls in the way that I'm gonna lie to you about what I think, what I disagree with or agree with. And the way that some of the women just blindly agreed with each other on this season annoyed me.
Big time.
Because when Chad got up and said, fuck y'all, all the women were like, oh. And even Britney was like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Listen, y'all don't have to say nothing. Y'all don't have to say anything to escalate the situation. We have producers here. Chad is a grown man, and there are men in the room.
Right.
So we don't have to start going in on Chad saying, oh, well, hold on, Chad. We don't even have to start, chiming in on Chad. In my opinion, the way he was acting, and y'all know he has a short fuse, right? In my opinion, I'm very much Olandria, like, shh, be quiet. We'll talk about this later. Because I feel like it felt more of like an ambush when the women started to jump in. And then also, I didn't really like the way that when Britney and Will were having a discussion about love and all of that, all the girls were like, that would have hurt my feelings too. That would have shut me down. If that was me, I would have shut down. It's kind of like,
girl, be quiet right now.
Talk to your girl about that separately.
Exactly.
I guess I just believe when it comes to men specifically, there's no benefit in jumping in and saying, oh, that would have hurt my feelings too. Because at the end of the day, these are grown men and they feel how they feel. I would talk to my girlfriends separately, because I feel like when you start to do that, you just start to add to the negativity in their relationship. And for somebody like Chad who has anger issues, like, you're just kind of dogpiling onto the issue when you know he's absolutely not going to change. Right. So in my opinion, it would have been better to just keep that to Belinda and make sure that Belinda was safe. Make sure that she felt okay. To jump to her instead of saying, oh, Chad, you need to calm down or anything like that. I would have said, Belinda, are you okay? Like, I would have shifted my energy towards her, because Chad, he's 60.
Yeah.
Like, why are we telling him anything about how he needs to behave? Like, he is who he is at this point. I would say, girl, you need to get away from him.
Exactly.
Because telling Chad that he's wrong or he needs to calm down and then sending him home with Belinda, to me, is not the right approach.
It can be dangerous.
I would say, Belinda, do you want to stay and hang out? Because at the end of the day, he's a loose cannon.
Yes.
So, I don't know. That's just my perception over it. I just think that sometimes, as women, we just have to calm down, especially when a guy is a loose cannon. You just have to calm down, keep it cute, and then make sure that the woman is fine. You know what I mean? Make sure she's taken care of. Because when you kind of like dogpile onto a man like that, it doesn't do anything. It really doesn't benefit nobody. It ain't like the man goes home and say, you know what? All the women disagreed with what I said, and I thought about it. All he gonna do is get mad.
Exactly.
Like.
And cause turmoil. That's it.
It doesn't help. You know, so consider that the next time you're in a group setting. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the woman is safe and taken care of, and make sure she feels validated on her own, because in reality, she has the power to walk away from this. But anyway.
Message.
I wrote down, Chad uses anxiety to camouflage his anger. Everything give him anxiety, but really it just pisses him off. And you know what? Me too, Chad.
Me too.
You know what gives me anxiety? Paying bills.
Oh, big time.
Having to work as a comedian, hustle, and prove I'm funny over and over give me anxiety. You know what give me anxiety? Being a mom.
Responsibility.
You know what? That give me anxiety. You know what give me anxiety? Talking to my daddy. No, it's just challenges that you have. And at the end of the day, these are responsibilities you have, Chad. Your wife don't give you anxiety, Chad. She just needs emotional support, but now you got anxiety. Right. All right, be quiet. Chad's bigotry came out. He said, I'm the alpha in my house. I'm not going to compete with no damn dog.
Right.
The thing that bothered me about that, Chad, is why do you think that you're competing with the dog in the first place? You must be a dummy.
Or you must be a dog yourself.
Because what man says, I'm the alpha in my house, I'm not going to compete with a pet? Like, why would that even cross your mind? That you're competing with the dog. Oh my goodness. I wrote down, everything is a trigger for Chad. And Chad told the host, if you want me to tell my side of the story, shut up.
Oh, no, he didn't. I would have said, no, you shut your ass up. That's why I'm not hosting.
Wow. Luckily, Belinda is dating someone new. Listen, I don't think Chad thinks very highly of women. I don't think Chad thinks very highly of himself. And if I had to guess, I don't know if this is true or not. This is just for entertainment. But I would also go on a limb and say he probably don't think very highly of black people either. That's why he told the host to shut up.
Wow.
Because why are you telling the host of this show to shut up? As if he reports to you in some way.
Right.
So yeah, he's been married 4 times. And he can honestly go to hell. This is why they never gonna ask me on the show. This is why they're never gonna ask me to do the reunions, you guys. Let's move on to the very last couple. Let's move on to the black couple. Y'all know I have to relax before I talk about the blacks. So let me take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath, honey. Drink a little coffee. Exhale. Because here we go.
Will called Britney the day before and told her he was going to say no.
Okay.
He did her a courtesy by doing this. Okay? Let me just say before I get started, I feel like what I have to say about this relationship, people might not agree with me. I don't know if they will agree with me or not. It's okay if you don't. But
you're not on Britney's side.
I'm going to say some things that people might not agree with, and that's okay.
Britney looks fantastic, though.
Anyway, he called her beforehand to say that he was going to say no on decision day.
Mm-hmm.
I said in my last review, and I've said it in this one, when somebody tells you they don't want to be with you, you should walk away from them. You should walk away from them with your head held high.
Yes.
And understand that you deserve to be with somebody who is incredibly enthused about being with you. Okay? I talk about the reason I broke up with my last boyfriend on my Patreon. You do have to be a member of my secret society on Patreon. It's $5 a month if y'all want to hear the story or want to join me in Jazz After Dark, a show that I do weekly about intimacy. But during that breakup, we had a disagreement, and I called the man on when he got home, and I said, "Hey, Key, I can't wait to see you." And I called the man and I asked him. I said, "Hey, did you just break up with me? Like, what's up? I don't like being in limbo. So did you just break up with me? Do you want to break up?" And he said, "I'm trying to decide." I said, "Don't even worry about it.
That'll do it.
You don't try to decide over me." You think you about to ponder about whether you want to be with me or not? If it's a not a hell yes, it's a no.
Yeah, for me it is.
I said, "But don't even worry about it, player. We never have to see each other again."
And did.
Go ahead and lose my number and try and forget me. It'll be hard.
Very hard.
Ah!
Devastating.
Because why the hell do you think that I would sit around and let a man ponder about whether he want to be with me or not and wait for an answer? No, I'm good. We good, brother.
Over some BS at that.
And that was the end of it. Like, Britney said she wanted to fight because she takes marriage very seriously. If you take marriage so seriously, why did you go on this show and marry a stranger?
Because you don't.
I'm sorry. I cannot agree with the idea that you take marriage very seriously, but you decided to just go on a marriage game show. Because that's what this is.
Act like you know. Act like you know. And act like you know.
Just say that you were desperate.
Desperate.
And your self-esteem was not where it needed to be.
Esteem.
I wish she would have said that at some point during the reunion, but she didn't.
I wish she would have said, "I've worked on my self-esteem." Anyway.
I wrote down, when they sat down on decision day, Will looked nervous. Britney told him, "I think you are the most kind, generous, thoughtful person I've ever met."
Please.
I wrote down, "She begging."
Pick me.
She's begging.
Pick me, please. I want to be picked so bad. Pick me. I know you said no, but pick me now. I know you said you didn't want to, but pick me.
The man called you yesterday and told you he didn't want to be with you. You got him on the couch today and you're professing your love for him, saying he's kind, he's gorgeous, he's beautiful, he's smart, he is lovable, he's gentle. I love the way you just do everything for me. You just do it for me. Daddy.
And if it ain't good,
he doesn't want to be with you.
I got it. If it ain't hell, I got it.
She said, "I've never felt like this about anyone before." I said, "Of course. This is your first boyfriend?"
Baby, I'm the best. Oh, he's running home to me.
You've never been in a relationship.
And he knows whatever he wants, then I'm with it.
Let me tell you something. If I had an academy, I would call it Jazmyn's Dating Academy. And you gotta get with at least 10 niggas before you decide about how you feel about anybody.
Right. Experience it.
Because this is your first boyfriend. Of course you've never felt this way about anybody.
You never felt this way.
You've known him for 8 weeks. Will started crying. I wrote down, "Girl, let him go. You need to work on yourself."
Mm-hmm.
Will didn't start crying because he wanted to be with Britney. Will started crying because he didn't want to be with Britney so bad that he started crying.
Damn.
Now, I believe Will is very empathetic. I believe Will did not want to hurt Britney's feelings. I believe that Will understood how much he was hurting Britney by telling her that he didn't want to be with her, even though he called her the day before to let her know he didn't want to be with her, to soften the blow. He didn't want to look her in the eyes and tell her, okay? He didn't want to feel the guilt. He wanted to let you know on the phone beforehand because he was trying to save himself from having to listen to you do all this shit. And what did you do? You got in his face, you cried, and you begged him. So what does he say? He said, let me go take a walk and think about it. She said, I was asking for time. She says, look at you. You're crying right now. We both have things we need to work on.
And she got more time. 7 more days.
Will said that he doesn't believe in saying I love you too quickly because oftentimes the words are manipulation.
Yep. He's
Was
right.
he wrong?
No.
Will has empathy. And I think that he tries to protect himself from being manipulated because he's probably had situations in his life where he really liked somebody and he thought that they liked him at the same level and did all of these things, and it turned out they didn't like him as much as he liked them. So now he's trying to move very logically when it comes to love, right? And I think that love has to be a combination of spontaneity and logic. Like if you only looking for logic when it comes to like love and relationships, you're probably not going to find it because some things just won't make sense, you know? But I think that this the crying on the couch and begging, I'm sorry, is that not manipulative?
Let me know.
Is that manipulation or not? If I called you yesterday and said, you know what, I know we're going to be on TV tomorrow. I don't want to be with you. I want to let you know that I'm going to say no. And then you come into my face tomorrow and you cry and you beg me. Is that manipulation? It feels like it because I already said no.
Right.
I told y'all last week, tears don't do anything for men. I'm not telling you not to cry around men, but I would advise you, me personally, I would advise you not to cry to them.
Exactly.
Crying is for your mom, your dad, your kids, your girlfriends, your community, your non-romantic community. Crying to men about the things that they've done, the way they make you feel, or the way you feel about them does not do anything. And oftentimes we think, women specifically, we think that if we go to a man and we cry our eyes out, that he's gonna feel something for us. It's not true. They lied. They made it up.
They lied.
I'm not telling you to be emotionless. I'm just saying it's much more powerful to state how you feel without all of the crying and the breaking down. Say that for your homegirls, your BFF. Because you think that's going to change somebody's mind, it won't. It's a temporary fix. Because men hate to feel bad. So in order to prevent them from feeling bad, they're going to do whatever they need to say and do in that moment just so they don't feel bad and you don't feel bad. This is what men do when you cry. Whoa, what's wrong? Let's fix it. It doesn't mean that they actually are going to change their behavior or change how they feel about you. They want to put a Band-Aid on it really quick so that you feel good and they feel good. Like, whoo, she done crying. Now I can get away from her. I'm telling y'all, I've been young. I've been married. I've been a crier before. This is from my own personal experience. I'm very sensitive, but now I cry in the shower. I'm sorry. I cry. I call my mama and cry. I call my best friend and cry. I called my friend a few weeks ago. I said, hey, I called my friend who's queer. I text him. I said, hey, do you have 20 minutes so I can cry on the phone with you? And he said, let me call you in about 20 minutes. And he did, and I cried on the phone. I do not cry in front of these men that I'm dating. I don't cry in front of my baby daddy. I don't do, those times are done with. And I'm telling y'all, step into your power. You don't have to cry over them.
Or in front of them.
Anyway.
You can cry over them later.
Will told you, I adore you. We have a lot of growing and learning to do. And he ended up saying yes on decision today. And you know what Britney said? Britney said, thank you.
Sad.
As if he just did you a favor by saying, I want to be with you. Nobody does you no damn favor by wanting to be with you. It's a blessing to be around you. It's a blessing to be in your presence. I've never ever ended a relationship with a man and looked back and thought, wow. I've looked back at every single relationship I've ever been in and thought, wow, I can't believe he lost me.
Right.
I was a blessing to him.
What a shame.
A light. You think you glowing because you glowing? You're glowing because I'm next to you.
Better preach.
Wake it up. Girl, that's how you have to think. And you sat up and told this man, thank you.
Thank you for what?
Anyway, at the reunion, she says she hasn't spoken to Will in a while. She says that they had a little bit of time what she said is they moved in together or whatever the case was. After the show, he had to go out of town for work for a week. He left for a week and he came back and told her he didn't want to be with her no more. She said he ended things a week later and I haven't spoken to him since. And this is how it went down because they showed footage. He came into the house. He told her he didn't want to be with her. She said his whole demeanor changed. He was cold.
Really?
They said, Will, what do you have to say about your demeanor changing and you being cold? And he said, I felt like I had to be stern with her. I felt like I had to be an asshole. I felt like I had to be mean because any other time when I tried to tell her no, it didn't work. And let me tell y'all something. Will was right. He was right. He tried to break up with her multiple times before this, I'm sure. But we saw one of the times on decision day.
Yep.
And she begged him and cried in his face. Even on this day where he broke up with her, he went and got his stuff. We saw it. She was begging him, please don't leave. Please, can we talk about it? Please just sit down. Why are you acting like this? Why are you doing this? What are you doing? Can you please just talk? Why are you acting like this? This is why he said, no, let me leave. Let me go. And she set up begging. She stood in front of the door.
Yep.
While he had his suitcase in his hand. Yeah, she said, tell me you love me. Tell me you love me. He don't love you, girl. Let this man go. And if he had broke it to her nicely, the way he had been doing it, she would not have let him out of the relationship. When I was in therapy and I talked to my therapist about breaking up with a man that I was dating, that I felt so bad about breaking up with this man that I didn't want to hurt his feelings. It wasn't about him as a person. I just felt like I wasn't his person. I wanted him to go off and find his wife. This was over a year ago. My therapist told me that when I broke up with him, I have to sit down and say, the first thing that comes out of my mouth when we sit down, I want to break up. She said that has to be the very first thing that comes out of my mouth. Because if you do not lead with the fact that you want to break up, you will never break up. You will sit down. You will have a heartfelt conversation. You're going to cry. He's going to cry. And then y'all are not going to break up. You're going to continue the relationship. And that's what I did. I sat down. If you want to listen to the whole story about how I broke up with this man, go to my Patreon. There's 2 breakup episodes. There's a breakup 1, and then there's a breakup again. But anyway, I sat down. I texted him. I said, hey, I want to meet. I want to talk to you about our relationship. Let's meet in person. We met in person, and I sat down, and I said the first thing out of my mouth was, we should break up, or we need to break up. Something like that. Not I think we should break up. Not I feel like we should break up. It's I want to break up. And here's why. And I gave my reasons around why I think we should break up. And I had to be stern because it's not like I didn't like or care for the person. I just knew I wasn't their person. So this is the tactic that Will used during this breakup. He said, I don't want to be with you. He had his shit packed. He grabbed it. He was very stern. Those are boundaries, people. He didn't do anything wrong. I wrote down, Britney needed this breakup to step into her power. She needed this breakup. Look at her now. She looks fantastic. She looks like she's thriving. She needed this breakup so that she could understand what she deserves. Never beg a man to be with you. Oh my goodness. After they broke up, they had a little barbecue and she said, life sucks. Low self-esteem. What's your question, Chris? Britney's self-esteem was lower than hell. Britney's self-esteem is down there with the devil, chuckling and laughing and kicking. Because why do you feel this bad about yourself?
Not her self-esteem laughing with the devil. What?
Britney said, you treated me like I was nothing.
Oh, girl. Oh, brother.
He said, I didn't treat you like you were nothing. She didn't. He did not treat her like she was nothing. That's a lie. You might have felt like you were nothing because your self-esteem is low.
Clock it.
Britney said he could have broken up with me, but he didn't have to be rude. I wrote down he did have to be rude.
He had to.
Because you wouldn't have accepted it. You stood in front of the door.
And begged.
And Britney said at the end of the day, she doesn't think that Will is a bad person. And I wrote down, of course, Britney, you don't think Will is a bad person, because who begs a bad person to be with them?
Well, lots of people do, Jazz, but okay.
At the end of the day, I know the girls hate to admit it when it comes to Will and Britney. I think that Britney's self-esteem was too low for the relationship to ever work. I think that Will didn't really do anything wrong in this scenario. A lot of people online said, "Oh, Will, he was nonchalant. He was emotionally unavailable. He really didn't like her." I'm sorry, I have to disagree. I think Will came on the show. I think he gave it a fair shot. I think he was attracted to her. But when somebody doesn't feel good about themselves, it's very unattractive. It's very unattractive. I don't understand why it's fair for Rhonda to say that about Pat. But Will cannot feel this way about Britney.
And he never said it.
Having low self-esteem is not attractive to anybody.
And he actually never said that. He was being nice the whole time.
It's not attractive to anybody. So feel good about yourself.
Exactly.
Feel good about yourself for you. Okay? If y'all have any questions, let me know. If y'all think we should go live to talk about all of the things that maybe I didn't talk about throughout this season, let me know. We can plan a live for maybe later this week. But y'all have to want it. Okay?
And you have to drop a question.
I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Cause if he needs good love, I got it. If he needs a hit it up, I got it. Tell me I'm the best for. He's running home to me for it. And he knows whatever he wants, that I'm with it. And he knows a perfect place to come get it. And he knows that every woman is in me. Oh, baby, gosh, let me be. I got to breathe. Oh, please. Back up off of me. I got to breathe in this peace.